Yeah. All right, man. We got a guest now on the phone. I don't know if you guys watch. I know CMFK probably watches this because he's a big reality TV show kind of guy.
Okay.
But if y'all, I don't know if you've ever watched Master Chef, Gordon Ramsay show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but like very, very seldomly. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, we have one of the guys from the first season on there, Master Chef Jake Gandolfo. What's up, Jake?
What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, man? We see you back there. You got the guitars, and as Bonafide pointed out, you got a lot of guns back there, man.
Yeah.
So you're
just digging the Texas lifestyle, man.
Right.
You know.
So you were on the first.
To any would-be robbers or assailants out there, you know, feel free to drop on by. I mean, take a look around.
Yeah, you live on a ranch now, right?
Yeah, I sure do.
So
yeah,
it's like in the middle of nowhere almost.
We're right down in the hill country proper. It's just out of Lukenbach, you know, out down by Sisterdale. These are all little one-horse towns, man, and it's real good. It doesn't suck, you know. We're close enough to Austin or San Antonio where we can roll out there and you know, jump into that scene when we want to. But other than that, it's real quiet, and I dig it. I dig it a bunch.
Yeah, are those your guns that you bring down?
Yep, they sure are. And you know, I do a lot of hunting on the ranch. There's a lot of exotics running around out here. We're on a 700-acre spread, so it's real cool like that because I go out and get shit to eat. You know,
That's cool.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of how I came up too. So it's, you know, it's just one of those things. This is kind of how we do it. You know?
Y'all have any axis deer out there?
Yeah, that's right. We got some axis.
That's good dinner right there.
Oh man, I tell you what, I've hunted or eaten or prepared just about all venison that's available on the North American continent.
Damn.
And it's like that axis and then everything else. You know,
Really?
I hadn't had any axis, hadn't had any exposure till I come down to Texas. And man, it's a game changer, I tell you what.
Nice.
Yeah, and being a cook, that's probably good stuff, right? The moment you kill one, you know you got a lot of meat you can use.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. You know, in my scenario, in my situation, I'm responsible for that animal from the moment that I take it until, you know, you put it in your mouth, until I feed it to you.
Right.
And, you know, having that kind of responsibility, man, you know, it's a big deal because a lot of people, especially when it comes to venison and game, you know, they start throwing shit around like, oh, it's bitter or it's gamey, you know, which half the people that throw that out there don't even really know what that means. But typically what it's relating to is that somebody mishandled the meat at some point in time or wasn't responsible for it. So
Or the body.
I always take the opportunity to bring folks back around when I got some venison that I'm feeding them, you know.
So how do you bring all those guns into Texas when you're traveling? Does somebody ever? Do you worry like somebody's going to stop you and say, "Hey, man, well, you got like 15 guns on here"?
Hey, Dizzle, I'll tell you what. I was flying back from New York just the other day. I had to go back and do a gig back in New York State, right? You know, I stay in touch with a couple of charities from the celebrity world, you know,
right?
That I enjoyed there for a bunch of years, and there's still a couple of groups that I stay with, and mostly hunger-driven situations or cancer-driven kind of groups, you know, because those both strike a chord with me. So, anyways, we were back there doing this gig just last week, 10 days ago. And I got a couple of guns, and I got this pistol I'm bringing back from my trove on the East Coast, you know, and because I come up back east. And
you're flying?
Oh yeah, and you, I mean, you can fly with guns all the time. People do it all the time because they're going all over the world to hunt and stuff. It's not that big a deal. Long guns like rifles and shotguns, it's pretty chill. I mean, it's real. You know, you got to have a really good hard case and a couple of padlocks.
Right.
And you're good to go. Like you do a little TSA search, no sweat. But when it comes to pistols, man, pistols are like next level shit, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I was flying out of New York. I don't usually fly out of New York. I usually fly into Massachusetts, like Boston or into Connecticut, you know, and the rules are a little different. And so I'm going to get out, you know, check my luggage. And the local guy, the TSA guy, is like, yeah, cool. And he goes, oh, is that a pistol in there? I said, yeah, it sure is, you know, and all that.
Wait,
and
you get to actual TSA before you even mention it?
Yeah, okay, so here's how it works. You got your guns in a case locked, right?
Right.
And you walk into the airport and you walk up to the ticket counter and you check your guns just like you would check any bag that's going in the hull of the plane, right? You can't do carry-on.
Right.
And you open up the case, you talk to the TSA guy right at the ticket counter, and he asks you some questions, and you sign a piece of paper, throw that back in your gun case, lock your gun case up, and it goes on the conveyor belt and goes away into the bottom of the plane, just like everybody else's luggage.
So I had no idea you could fly with guns like that. Did you know
that's
that?
weird. I knew you could fly with guns underneath, though, but I just didn't know all this has to go into a play.
Right.
So what's the deal with the pistols? So the person figure out you have a pistol. What did he do?
Yeah, well, I mean, figure out. Well, like I was trying to hide it, you know. I mean, that's when your ass is going to end up in jail if you try and get, slick and shit. So, anyways, I said, yeah, that's just 357, and whatever. And so then he calls in the local, sheriffs or whatever. They got to come over for the pistols. That's like next level. So this guy comes over, and I mean, he's like fucking SEAL Team 6. He's got like the black jacket, the deal, the camo, the glasses, the beard, and all that shit. So he's cool. He's like laid back, He's not like little mini Hitler Youth guy, with a small dick and like a heavy duty complex, right? This guy's the guy you want to talk to because he's laid back. He comes over and he says, "Hey man, is that your pistol in there?" I said, "Yeah, it sure is. Just bringing a couple guns back." And he said, He said, you got a permit for that for New York State? And I said, "No, man, we're things are real loose down in Texas." And he said, "Yeah, well, you're in New York right now, and I could just fucking throw you in jail."
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm standing there with my dog and my chick. I just done this gig, like everything's all cool. We're cool, and then all of a sudden the wheels are coming off, So he gives it to me. He just lays it down. He lays down this rap about how this is going to go and fully just backdoors me in on this thing, like assess the situation that I wasn't a threat. We're cool, and all this.
Yeah, if I showed up in New York with my face, I'd be they'd be waterboarding me in the back of the airport.
We got a little room for you over here, a friendly counselor we'd like you to talk to. Yeah, bend over. You're going to feel a little pinch, a slight pinch. So, anyways, it all worked out. It all smoothed out. My karma was good. My man took care of me. I said, "Bro, you are on my Christmas card mailing list this year, brother. Let me tell you what." So, anyways, but let's say my resting heart rate was slightly elevated at that moment.
Yeah, that would have not been good. So, hey, you started off before, and this always impresses me when people are able to just drop a career they're doing. Because look, to me, human beings are like animals. When you gotta eat, you gotta go kill something as an animal. But human beings gotta work and make money, And it's very scary leaving something that's stable or that you're making a living on to go pursue a dream, And you did that. You were doing construction originally, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So how do you get the confidence and the courage to just drop that and go into being a chef?
The balls, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Because I do consider it having balls to do that.
I think that anybody that wants to pursue their passion and follow their dream, at some point in their life that has the huevos to step up and do it, I think is commendable. I'm not talking about me. This isn't my arrogance or my ego, which is fucking huge. Make no mistake. That's not what's talking right now. I think that, having the balls to do it, it's a big deal. It's like, going into business for yourself, any business for yourself, own your own business is a fucking hardcore deal. I mean, you got to have some balls to make that jump and then be able to pull it off, because there's no real safety net once you step into that world, right? So for me, it was kind of the other thing I wanted to do in my life. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a trucker like my old man, and I did whip the hell out of that, got into heavy construction, operated excavators and dozers and big equipment, but I always cooked. Like I was always cooking something for somebody since I was like 5 years old, So I just, by a series of events, just started getting involved in different professional situations, catering, things of this nature, and just prep cooking for folks, and realizing that I definitely had the skill set for it, and decided to just reinvent myself and pursue this dream. And I was in my early mid 30s, and Master Chef just kind of popped up. I was right on the cusp of going mainstream with my own outfit. I said, "Fuck, man, I'll run up the flagpole and see what happens. If I don't, I'll regret it."
So this is the first season, right?
That's right. Arguably the best season.
Well, first seasons, you're always the most well-known. Like for Survivors, that Richard Hatch guy, right? The first season crew is always the one that's in the memories, that goes down in history. Same with American Idol. Is that kind of like with the crew from Master Chef? Would you say that you're the best known in the...
I feel like it. I feel like you know, for everybody, it was the first go around. You know, Gordon, you know, he was, I mean, what the fuck did he know? You know, he's in America now doing a gig. And Joe Bastianich, I mean, his mother, Lydia, I'm referencing all the judges now, boys, if you're not hip. Joe's mother, Lydia, had done a shitload of TV, but he never had, you know. And Graham Elliott, I mean, he's just a rock star, superstar chef, you know, from Chicago, but he didn't have much TV background. So we were sort of all in it together, you know, with it being the first go around, the judges and the contestants, the competitors, you know.
Yeah. So what was it about you? I mean, you got a great look to you, right, for television. I'm guessing that's why they picked you.
You trying to make time with me right now? What's going on over there in that studio?
But no, you're covered in tattoos. You're a big guy. You got a goatee. You
My
know?
mom always told me I had a face for radio. So
Right.
there you go.
But do you think that's one? Because I mean, you didn't have any experience other than just cooking for people, or did you? Like just cooking for friends and family, or were you actually a chef at that point?
No, I didn't have any professional background per se, because, you know, that was one of the things with the show. It's more about like amateur cooks and home cooks and stuff. So as I said, I was just about ready to launch mainstream in the world with it. And, you know, these guys were cool with it.
Yeah.
And are we good? Connection good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
hear us? Is there an issue?
Yeah, it's a little funny on my end, but as long as you're good,
We're good. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's checking out a little bit right now, and it's probably
your connection.
No, we're
Yeah.
good on this.
We're
end.
good. It's perfect.
all right. So where were we in the conversation?
So you when you met Gordon Ramsay, I mean, is this guy as big an asshole in real life as he looks like he is on TV?
No. I mean, anytime you sprinkle Hollywood into the equation, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the bullshit factor goes up about tenfold, you know? I mean, Gordon's a prick, make no mistake. You know, when he came up, you know, he was going to be a professional, or he actually was a professional soccer player. He played for the fucking Scotland Rangers or some shit, you know, in Europe. And he blew his knee out a couple times. And that's what got him into the kitchen. And that's how he started cooking. So this is a dude that kind of reinvented himself. And
That's cool.
the people that he hooked up with were really militant, old school, classic French brigade, you know, cocksuckers. So really hardcore. And so that's where a lot of that comes from with Gordon. You know, that was instilled in him from sort of day one, that super aggressive, you know, be all you can be and just boom, my way or the highway kind of vibe. So he's definitely hardcore. When you're on his time, you know it. I mean, you better be bringing your A game. But, you know, off camera, he's a huge sweetheart, and that's half the shit you never see because it doesn't sell seats. You know, it doesn't sell tickets, right? What do we want? We want drama and screaming and yelling and veins exploding and waiting for his head to pop off his fucking neck. I can't even watch him anymore because I love the guy, and I'm afraid he's just going to have a coronary on the set one day, you know?
Has he ever made anybody cry on set?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he definitely has been up people's asses to that extent to make them.
You didn't cry, I hope.
You can neither confirm nor deny that. So there was this one time where this chick, and I'm not going to mention her name, we had a secret ingredient, you know, I can't remember what it was. It was nothing, you know, too ridiculous. And she comes over and she's like, Jake, you know, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? You know, and I'm like, it's cut into like little fucking cubes and there's toothpicks stuck in it and it's on a plate, you know, a tray. It looks like something that, you know, a sixth grader made for a freaking fondue party or some shit. And I go, are you going to serve that to those guys, you know? And she's like, yeah. What do you think? I said, I think you're out of your fucking mind if you're going to serve that to Gordon Ramsay. You know, that's Gordon Ramsay. And they got up there and they ate it. And it was Joe. Joe takes the dish. He doesn't even taste it. And he just fucking throws it right in the trash can, man, right there with the cameras rolling out. It's like, oh, snap. You know, I tried to warn you. I mean, this other chick, she's making like fucking pancakes with Mickey Mouse faces and shit, you know. And I'm like, these are the greatest culinary minds of our time. You know, show a little respect, man. I mean, at least put some effort in, you know.
So did you know, like, on the show that you were going to destroy all these people? Did you know pretty early on, like, I'm going to win this thing?
You mean, well, I didn't win.
Oh, okay.
I was number 7 in the program and number 1 in your heart, I believe.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought Dizzle told me that you had won. So
No, I mean, I clearly should have. I mean, as you know, we all know. Oh, there goes that ego again. No, it was one of those deals where they love me because I have the a unique ability to turn the filter off and not give a shit about what comes out of my mouth, and then I could cook. It turned out that homeboy had a little bit of game too. So they were like, man, where have you been? Because you're, funny and cool. We hang out and have a good time, a lot of laughs. But then when it's go time, it's just head down and hammer it out. And the food I was doing, was definitely on point, as far as that went. So we had a pretty good feel. I had a pretty good feel early on for who was going to rise to the top and who the actual competition was going to be and who the people were that were just actors that just wanted some screen time that didn't really give a shit about the actual competition, which I took offense at. Because I'm like, if you don't want to be here to cook and like fucking kick ass and be America's first, Master Chef winner, like you're taking somebody else's spot, beat it.
Right.
And anyways.
So do you keep in touch with any of these guys?
Yeah, I keep in touch with some of them for sure. There was, like I said, there was like a group of us that kind of rose to the top that ended up being, most of the finalists. And there was a couple D-bags in that group for sure. And so, there were D-bags on and off the set. So, I don't stay tight with them and all. But yeah, everybody chimes in every now and again, or somebody will blow up and then everybody jumps in, you know, like that.
So now you got a little bit of fame going, right? After the show, you're getting recognized. Do you get an agent at this point? You're like, I mean, are thoughts going through your head like, hey, I'm going to be this big time on-screen kind of television personality?
Yeah, I definitely was headed down that road. It's a lot of work. As you know, you're promoting yourself 24/7. You're like showing up for everything and putting your name out there as much as you can. I did a few different productions after that, some pretty cool stuff. Did some stuff with Bobby Flay. I actually did a cool thing with Daryl Hall. He's got this
Hall & Oates.
It started as a podcast, right? But now it got picked up in a bunch of markets and stuff, and that was fun. So I was dibbling and dabbling with it, doing a lot of endorsement, product placement, and appearance type stuff. So it was full jet setter mode. I mean, I was definitely like, I don't know, D-lister for sure. But I never really broke through as far as like getting an agent. I wanted to keep rolling with it. I was pretty comfortable with the amount of traveling and work I was doing and getting and the dig that was coming with it, and I was able to stretch it out for 5 years or so just on my own, with no real management, and that's how it shook out. And it got old. I mean, it gets old.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you enjoy the fame or the attention?
I mean, again, I've got a huge ego. We had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I'm signing chicks' tits, at the airport. There's people showing up. I mean, I'm in freaking the produce section in, we're down in Alabama doing this gig, and I'm in the produce section. This chick's mad dogging me.
Yeah, I just put up the picture of you with the burlesque dancers.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. One of our supper clubs, the old Sunday supper club.
So it's not like this fame's not like what you see in when people get off like shows like Big Brother and Survivor, where like they're all hanging around together and they're all at nightclubs trying to get noticed by the paparazzi and all that. Your fame wasn't that kind of deal, right? That's not how you pursued it.
No, that's definitely not anything that would be interesting to me at all. My deal was more like, like to get in a room, press the flesh, kiss some babies, like throw down, do some cooking. I love doing live stuff like in a room, doing demo stuff and shit like that. Putting together events, like we produced some really amazing events over the years, food driven stuff, and that's more about building community through it, through the food. I mean, we all have this connection through our bellies. I don't care race, color, creed, religion, political viewpoint. It doesn't matter. We all connect through our bellies. We all got to eat. We all love food. We all love to talk food. So I'm always trying to promote that. That was more like my angle, more than like paparazzi and glitz and all that shit,
You must have had a lot of women coming on to you, though, because of the whole TV show and everything, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. There was some stalkers and shit along the way.
Really? You were telling me earlier that you got like these things called food groupies?
Oh yeah, totally. It's a huge deal.
What is that?
It's and I mean, like the chef stardom, rock star, superstar chef stuff. It's such a big deal to so many people.
Now, are
And
these chicks that are way into food, like they're always eating all the time, or what are we talking about?
Do they weigh in?
it's not just chicks, brother. Anyways,
Because it sounds like food groupies, they're coming in. It's just probably like a 400-pound chick walking in, like a food group. You're like, hey, I'm a food groupie. What's up? I love your cooking, man. I mean,
Oh my
is that what we're
gosh.
talking about, or what are we talking about?
Give me some
Food
actions,
groupies?
dear.
give me some of that love.
Yeah.
No, we're not like that at all. Trust me.
Or are they like really hot chicks, like what you see at like a groupie for like an Aerosmith concert or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the chicks, some
All
of
right,
these
excellent.
I think what Dizzle's thinking about is, I can just picture it. It's like,
I heard you cook really. Because I'm picturing a chick that loves to eat, and she's like, this is a catch, a guy that loves to cook for me.
big old fucking turkey leg and it's coming on up all fucking baked, slathered up
Yeah.
in bacon. Oh,
She's like, if I can lock this guy in, he's going to be cooking for me the rest of my life.
She doesn't even want
Oh,
sex.
that's hot.
Do you
know,
even enjoy cooking for chicks anymore? I mean, it's like you do it for a living. So when you're with the girl and you're trying to get to know her and impress her, is that something you like? Let's say it's done. Now you're dating. Is that something you actually enjoy doing? Is cooking for a girl?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially, if the chick gets it. I mean, if she's into food, and like gets it,
Yeah.
then I can go big, and like throw down. And if that doesn't work, I can always pull out one of those guitars on the wall and serenade them. And that's
Right.
always the only reason I really learned
Or you
to play
can
guitar.
pull out one of those
Chick.
guns, hold them hostage.
yeah.
So you ride dirt bikes too, right?
Yeah. We moto. We used to moto quite a little bit, ridden all over the left half of the country, and I used to road race motorcycles too. So we're just up at the GP this weekend in Austin, as a matter of
Oh, wow.
fact. Had a
That's
bunch
tight.
of boys in from the West Coast, bunch of 925 representation. So that was a kick in the ass.
You need any dirt bikes? Our producer CMFK has some rotten in his backyard. If you want to project
does?
bikes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What you got? What are you riding, brother?
What are you riding?
I got a 2007 250F and a 2002 250.
252 stroke on the 2002 or a 4
10
stroke?
4. 250.
A 2 stroke?
Yeah, 2-stroke.
Attaboy.
Hell
Attaboy.
yeah.
I think my last dirt bike was a 06 or 07 YZ250 2-stroke. And then I
Nice.
had a YZ450F. That was my desert bike.
Hell
so
yeah.
used to spend a lot of time down in Mojave, high desert stuff, and just fucking tearing it up.
You ever been to Glamis, California?
Yeah, not to ride, just down,
Oh,
down
man.
partying and all that. And then Pismo was a big stop too, being on the West Coast. And then up in Tahoe and up north of Tahoe, Spooner and shit like that. We've ridden all up and down the coast for sure. Being a bunch of the boys, we've ridden all over Nevada and Utah. I mean, we've definitely put some miles down for sure.
Damn it.
Yeah, so I'm noticing all the tattoos and stuff on your hands. What kind of? So what are all the tattoos you got here?
Metal
You got
militia.
NaCl, salt,
It's a
right?
chemistry test, boys. How well were you paying attention?
Chemistry.
That's salt. That's salt.
That's right.
Potassium
Sodium
chloride.
chloride.
Yeah.
The most important tool in the kitchen, man.
That's
is
Wait,
salt.
potassium chloride? You mean sodium chloride?
Sodium chloride. Sodium
That's
chloride.
what I said. Did he say potassium chloride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He needs
I
to
don't
go
know
back to
when
school.
So these are these all like food-based tattoos you got?
Yeah, most of them. When I was touring around the country with my wife at the time and my dog Ruger, we were full time in this 32-foot RV towing the Jeep behind us, producing events all over America, sort of on this culinary crusade of America to raise awareness to hunger issues facing us here in our backyard, right here in the States. I'd produce these events. We'd get together with folks in different areas and produce these events to raise money and actually feed folks, hungry folks in these communities hands-on, and then put these events together to raise awareness too. So after each event that we did, I'd get a tattoo, So that was kind of part of the gig, and it helps me remember what we were doing that day and gives a little more significance to me because I'm wearing that on my body, right?
Right. Yeah, I had the privilege of.
Instead of me running around with a rack of ribs. Do you see the ribs?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rack of ribs on your forearm. You better be able to fucking bring it when it comes to the barbecue. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on with the tattoos, and I got the privilege of having Jake cook for me, and then my buddy said, "Hey, let's go meet the cook," and Jake came out, and I started shitting my pants, man. I was like, I thought he was coming out to kick my ass, man. I didn't know what to expect. Every time he came out, I'd get scared. I'm like, "Fuck, this guy's gonna beat my ass. What's going
You're
on?"
gonna eat that food. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, this big giant guy comes out, man. He's like covered in tattoos.
I'm just a big teddy bear. You asked my chick. I'm just a big lover, man. I don't want any trouble. I'm just wrapped up in a big frame. What did Gordon used to say? You move like a swan, a really big swan. You know?
How'd you end up living on a ranch in Texas?
I was up in the back country of Wyoming, 8,500 feet, all slathered up with bacon grease, about 35 miles in on horseback, running around with grizzly bears and wolves bigger than you and me. And these boys were hunting elk and mule deer and all kinds of big game up in the backcountry. And I was in there for a couple months doing this gig. I mean, it's like super primitive deal. It was fucking awesome. And these old boys down in South Texas said, "You got to come down and see us, man. You got to come down to South Texas, hunt some aoudad and shit like that." And they're talking about axes, shit I've never even heard of, you know. And so I was sitting around back in the real world a couple months later, and I called up some boys. And they said, "Yeah, check this out, check that out." And I'm looking around online for something to do because I needed something to do. And this ranch situation popped up where I'm at right now, and it was real random. They were just looking for a cook, you know. So I called them up. We did a little Skype interview. And,
What is it like? They make a listing online, or your friends tell you about it? Is that what happened?
My friends got me thinking about South Tech coming down to Texas.
Oh, okay. So you find it online or something? Is it like an advertisement?
Yeah, it was just real random. I was just looking around, searching around ranches,
right.
You know, ranch.com, shit like that. I want to cook and be around horses is what I kind of gravitated to. Got off the rice burners and got onto hay burners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of trying to get out of the life and slow it down and quiet shit down, and that's kind of what got me down here. And that's exactly how it's played out, man. My life is so much more mellow and relaxed than it used to be. So I called these folks up. We did a little Skype interview. Talking about tattoos, I know it's Texas. Things are pretty conservative, I'd be kind of loud. I got a bunch of tattoos. So we're Skyping, and every couple seconds, I'm itching my nose. And, give it a big yawn to make sure, everybody can see the
So you don't want to surprise them with the tattoo.
I wanted to make sure they knew what they were getting underneath this hat, type of deal. And not, drive halfway across the country for them to be like, who's this fucking yokel, So anyways, we come down here sight unseen, me and my dog, and about 2 weeks into it, the owners of the ranch started building this house, and I go to Trish, the gal that runs the joint. I said, "Hey, what are they building up there?" And she goes, "Oh, they're building you a house." I said, "Whoa, that sounds like a marriage, some sort of a commitment." You notice I'm stuttering a little bit. 2 weeks into it, I said, "Well, I guess the food doesn't entirely suck." And, I decided, man, you'd be an idiot not to do this deal, not to take them up on it. So they built me this house, 700 acres.
So basically it's like
all kinds of shit running around to shoot. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Man.
So it's some super rich guy, right? That has a ton of money that just owns a ranch, and you get to cook for him?
We're a real don't ask, don't tell kind of situation with that, man. I'm just like, hey, as long as it keeps rolling, we're all good.
Right. That's a pretty incredible setup, because I visited that ranch, and maybe we'll bring the Men's View team down there to enjoy your food.
So what's the situation? You're cooking for a family or families? What's the situation?
There's a lot of levels to that question. There's a lot of levels to that to the answer to that question, which it kind of has to be to keep me interested and involved, because I've got like full ADD going. Oh, look, there goes the chicken. So I have to stay rolling. I got to have shit to do all the time. So I cook for the folks that own the joint, and in a private chefing capacity. I cook when guests come in to stay with us and ride their horses and stuff on the weekends and whatnot, so I cook for them. And then I do a supper club once a month, which you can check me out directly. Just look me up on Facebook or whatever, if any folks that want to get in on that. And it's a real under the radar deal. I like to keep it a little edgy. And we do different events and stuff out here. I do a Saturday lunch, you know, so there's all kinds of different things going on just in the cooking arena. And then, you know, I spin wrenches. Like I used to build my own motors when I was racing bikes and shit. So I work on equipment around here. I was just welding and fabricating some shit earlier today, you know. So I do lots of different things on the ranch. I got 1,000 square foot garden that I'm responsible for. I maintain the garden, so there's a bunch of farm to table stuff when I'm feeding folks, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, I got my hands full, man. There's lots of shit going on to keep me interested.
Let me know if you need some help, dude.
I didn't know quite what was going on. My buddy invited me, and I was like, man, this guy's got a pretty good deal going. He's got like his own private chef and his giant ranch and everything. I didn't even know what I was doing down there, but I was glad to be down there.
It does not suck to be me. I'm very fortunate.
I do have
wake
a
up
question.
every day with a big thank you and a big hell yeah to have another day to enjoy it above ground, you know.
Right, exactly.
I have a question for you real quick. I just bought one of these things called Traeger grills, right? I don't know if you know what that is, but
Pellets. It's the smoker with pellets, right?
what's your view exactly? What's your view on propane versus charcoal versus pellets versus actual wood? Like, how would you rank the taste of food or what could come out of that unit?
I would rank it in exactly the order that you just said it.
Okay, what was my order again? Fuck.
Pellets right at the bottom.
No, did I?
You had propane at the bottom.
Okay.
Charcoal.
Okay.
Pellets. And then wood for
okay.
smoke. You can't beat fucking smoke, man.
Right.
Bring the smoke. Go big or go home with the smoke, right?
Okay.
And the pellets are nice and convenient because you just flip that bitch on, set it at 250, 260. The pellets shoot in. They squirt out when they're supposed to. And all you got to do is set your timer and walk away, basically, right?
Right, basically.
So less work, right? Right on the back porch with the fucking pellet smoker. Cool, good. Charcoal, sure, whatever. I mean, you're going to get some of that flavor out of it in your product, whatever it is. Gas is just for convenience, just modern. I'm a fucking lazy fucker, and I've got 15 minutes to do this shit, so I'm going to fire up the gas grill, which is okay. That's just fine. But smoke is where it's at, that's for sure. So you hit it right on the head, my man.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, some guy at Costco. See, here's the thing. I was in Costco, and I had the biggest fucking silver propane grill on a little, you know, those little big ass carts that they give you.
Yeah.
I had one of those, and I was rolling it out, and one of the guys he was at the Traeger thing at the booth there. He was like, "Dude, you don't want to be buying that." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "It's like $6,999. It's a badass grill." He's like, "You need to buy a Traeger for $6,999." I'm like, "Dude, that's the worst sales pitch I've ever heard." He's like, "No. Do you like food?" I was like, "Yes." He goes, "Do you like your food to taste good?" I was like, "Yes." And he goes,
"Do you like food that tastes good?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Absolutely." He's like, "Do you like juicy food?" I'm like, "Bitch, these are like all loaded questions, right?" So then I was like, "I'm just gonna stick with the propane grill." Then I went like further down the aisles, right? I was about to check out.
We had it on the cart.
The guy was this guy that was on the Roomba display or something, right? A completely different display. It's like the Roomba vacuum cleaner thing. He goes, "I wouldn't buy that fucking thing." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You need to get a Traeger grill, dude. I'm telling you."
They probably place.
Because the Traeger guy cuts them in 10%.
Right.
That's what I was telling him. I was like,
That's
dude,
their deal. They have Traeger guys all over Costco acting like other people, just watching for guys. Suckers like Bonafide walking around with grills.
Yeah.
But I can honestly tell you that we've had the best food come out of that grill, honestly. For the time commitment that we're willing to do, it is amazing. And anyone that's ever come over my house has been like, this food is amazing, period.
It's like best of both worlds. You have the modern convenience and you get the smoke. What kind of pellets are you using?
Right now we're on, we started with hickory. Now we're on a hybrid of apple and something else. But
yeah, so those are two of my favorites right there.
Which one?
Hickory and both of the ones you said.
Hickory and apple are two of my favorites.
Okay, so hickory and apple. Yeah, I think we have this one bag that I think they combine all the rest of the other pellets into it. So it's like a hybrid of like a lot of things, but hickory and apple.
Just don't get on that fucking mesquite train or you and I are done. Like right now, we're good.
Yeah.
Jump on the mesquite train, it's over.
Mesquite, okay.
I just want to let you know.
All right.
Hey, Jake, so your girlfriend has a website too, right? That she does some food stuff on, right? EatAustin.com?
Yeah, it's eataustin.menu.
Oh, okay, .menu.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I couldn't load it up earlier.
Yeah, eataustin.menu, leave it to me to fuck it up. But her name's Jo, and she's a pistol. She's great, man. It's funny. I've never dated a chef before, and we hit it off immediately out of the gate because I realized we've got the same wiring package, which is a little scary knowing what I know about myself. And we see through the same lenses, because we've got this chef wiring package. So immediately we're communicating telepathically, in life. And the biggest decision we need to make is what our next fucking meal is going to be, you know, because we're both just like food, 24/7 food, you know. And she is a great chef, two completely different styles of how we approach the plate, but she's awesome. Her food's amazing, and she's got a cool little personal chefing gig going in Austin, Texas. So check her out.
So
Yeah,
do you?
And she's like social media fucking queen. She's got like 4,500 followers on Instagram and shit, and she's posted my food. We're going out. You can just like totally stalk me through Facebook just from her shit that she's posting all the time.
So do y'all collaborate on food, or is it like straight up competition?
No, it's not a competition. It's a collaboration, and I'm glad you brought that up, man, because recently flew a good chef friend of mine, Colby Reed, from Stein's Beer Garden over in Mountain View, California. Flew him in down here to Sisterdale, which, like I said, is one horse like podunk deal, which I love. And a buddy of mine, John Maywald, had this smokehouse over here, Sisterdale Smokehouse. Shut it down about 6 or 8 months ago or so for some personal reasons, you know. So the place had been laying dormant. And I said, man, what a great spot to do a pop-up supper club, you know. Throw the lights on, for one night and do a proper pop-up. So, of course, I had to explain to everybody what a fucking pop-up was down here, first of all. And we threw it out there on the arrow board in front of his shop. I put 4 chefs, 4 courses, and 4 wines on the board and a website. We threw up a quick page. Thing sold out in like fucking 5 days, man. We had like 78 people in there. We had to turn away another 50 or 60 people. Just the Sisterdale community responded and poured it on. So I had Colby come in, Joe was cooking with me, and then John, who's an award-winning pitmaster, and myself. So each chef was responsible for a course. We had live music rolling all night. My buddy Jake McLean was in there picking and singing. And then we had David from Sister Creek Winery in, and he paired some of their swill to the food that we made. Man, it was a hell of a night. So, yeah, that was a great collaborative effort right there.
Yeah, well, that's incredible, Jake.
I got a question. One last question. All right, so 2-part question. You're a single guy, and you want to cook something for a lady.
Yeah.
What's the safest thing to cook where you're kind of like, all right, I could probably get action after this, but like you have to cook this one dish? What would you cook?
First of all, man, safety fucking out. Go big or go home. Even if you crash and burn, she'll give it up just on the effort alone. Scallops. If you know the chick's into seafood,
all right,
and it's super quick. You know, it's a 3-minute fire. You don't have this huge fucking production going, but you get some really nice scallops, some diver scallops, whatever. Bring a little bit of citrus. Bring some little grapefruit slices, little supreme, little orange, little citrus stuff, and just do like a simple kind of vinaigrette kind of deal on the plate. Really nice plating, super sexy, minimalist. And do a little brown butter when you're firing those fucking scallops. Yeah. Your mouths get wet?
Yeah, that sounds really good, man.
Yeah, so check it out. Keep it simple, but don't be afraid to go big, man.
Okay, second question. You're a subpar girl, but you're trying to attract a really good looking dude, and you're gonna cook for him. What do you cook?
Subpar.
Like, how does a woman get into a guy's stomach?
That stereo, I think, is how you cook. So I'm visualizing cowboy boots, a G-string, and a fucking apron, like a sexy apron, and that's it. Like that, maybe some sidle, like some side boob, So at that point, the dude doesn't give a fuck what.
Right, exactly.
Open up a can of something and pour it in there, shake it around a little bit, and call it a day, right?
Yeah, I don't think it matters to a guy if he's alone what the girl looks like. Just pull your pants down. That's it.
There's a country song that somebody sings about, man, I ate burnt fucking dinners for the first year and asked for seconds, I mean, fucking, yeah, the best shit I've ever eaten,
Yeah.
Bedroom,
Well, hey, Jake, appreciate you calling in, man. It looks like you're living a pretty good dream kind of life so far, man. I hope it continues to get better and better for you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
But I don't know if you're in Austin. Anytime you're in Austin, give us a shout out. You can come in the studio next time, sitting with us.
How can people find out more about you out there?
I think hit me up on Facebook, is probably the best thing to do. I'm just under my name on Facebook and just, follow along there.
Cool.
Again, check out Joe and follow along with her with what she's doing. That's a good way to get to me through her because she's always taking the pictures and making our life look really exciting, And yeah, other than that, that's about it. If anybody's interested in hooking up with any of these supper clubs that I was talking about out here at the ranch, or getting on the email list for the next pop-up that we do, which, like I said, they're a big deal. It's a really exclusive thing. Just Google me, and you'll find more information out about me than you ever want to know anyways.
And let us know a good weekend for the Men's View crew to come down there, man. We're going to come out there.
Yeah.
I want them to enjoy your food.
We'll work on that. I want to come up and see you all and kick it with you boys face-to-face for sure. I want to take you up on that the next time I'm up at ATX. And then we'll lay down the rails, lay down the groundwork to get you all down here in the ranch.
For sure, man.
Okay,
all right,
cool.
Jake. Thanks for calling in, man. Talk to you
bro.
later. Bye.
Real good to see y'all.
All right. All right, man. That was
I like that guy.
Chef Jake Gandolfo, man. Yeah, he's super cool.
How did you meet him again?
So I got a buddy that's in the oil business, and this really rich guy is somehow, he knows him, some do with that. So he
Okay.
just invited me when he was in town to come, hey, let's go eat at this place.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. CMFK, how long ago was that when I went?
2 months ago.
2 months ago? Yeah.
So you went out to a ranch?
Oh, this is, like, there's some guy just living it.
Jeez.
And he's been there for years living that way, like
So the guy that we
retired.
saw?
Older
Oh,
guy,
okay.
yeah. But still young in shape, horses everywhere, 700 acres, like just rolling hills, like lakes, like you said, like animals running around.
It's God's
amazing.
country out there.
Yeah,
dude.
it's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
And like
that's
you
awesome.
go to this, he's got like all these trucks and machineries, horses running around, and then you go in there and there's a master chef right there just making them, hey, you want to come have lunch with us? Sure. There comes Jake, man.
That's how you met him?
Yeah. I swear every time he walked out, I was like, what the fuck? He's going to either fuck my wife or he's going to kill me. I don't know what's going on. He'd like walk out all like, but he was cool as shit, man. He was awesome. And his food was great. He made us.
What did you eat?
So the thing I remember the best was he made us like a hamburger, but like a really high end, like
Okay, right.
all sorts of stuff on there.
Hamburgers can get expensive.
I
man. They
forgot
can get
what kind of
expensive.
fries. It was some really good fries. It wasn't even made out of potatoes. It was some. I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's cool. They have wild game.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was, but I do remember at the end
Or exotics.
what he does. He everything's from scratch, right? And he
Oh,
just
that's the
finds
best.
stuff
That's
like
the best.
locally or that he grows.
That garden thing.
So he was like, "Yeah, I was just driving back from Austin." He goes, "Eat this ice cream," and it was really good. And we were like, "What is it?" And he goes, it's pink. He goes, I was driving back from Austin and I saw these cactus on the side of the road, so I picked them and I knew they were edible, and so I made ice cream out of it.
Shit.
And then he made some ice cream out of sesame seeds. It was really good. But if we can get a way to go down there, man, I'll let you know.
I'm just gonna
we can
follow him
all
on
go.
Facebook. I'm just gonna figure something out.
Right.
Because I kind of want to go check it out.
And he's cool as shit, so that's cool. But hey, we're gonna take a break. Don't forget, while we're on a